Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Comcast and Spectrum are being beat up here bad in Cord Cutting 2.0 with this. We'll tell you just how fast 5G home internet's growing. We got some big numbers. A lot of people ditched traditional internet services for 5G home internet in just 3 months. Also, Netflix is taking their most popular show to movie theaters. We'll tell you what's happening there. And your email may have been compromised, your usernames and passwords. Definitely time to do some checking, especially on those important ones like bank accounts. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. We're going to break it all down here so you can learn more about the world of cord cutting, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. But if you want to, you can read each story I talk about. Find a link to them in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find a lot more over at cordcardsnews.com that never makes it into these stories either. All right, let's dive into it. T-Mobile yesterday announced its earnings, and with that, they added over 560,000 5G home internet customers with this. Total broadband customers, I apologize, with that. Now, vast majority of those are 5G home internet customers with it. So seeing absolute astonishingly rapid growth of cord cutting 2.0, which is the idea that people are ditching Comcast and Spectrum, not just their TV, but everything to do with them, and going to internet only through other places like T-Mobile, fiber options, Starlink, and more. Now, a lot of this is being driven by having more options. You know, we probably all remember, it wasn't that long ago that if you were lucky, you had maybe 2 internet options. You had fiber, if you were really lucky, or DSL, and then cable, and that was it. Now there's multiple fiber providers, because I actually have 2 where I live now. Not only that, but you also have 5G internet. I can get both T-Mobile and Verizon. I don't know about AT&T. I should probably check that with it. And of course, I got Comcast, you got Starlink, you got many different things. Well, suddenly I have 5 or more options for home internet, where not that long ago I did not have any options. And so now I think a lot of people are seeing the fact that they have internet options and are ditching. Because it wasn't even that uncommon to only have one good, true broadband option if you had DSL, for example, in an area back in the day. And I used to have DSL. I understand it, but now there's real options out there, and it's great to see that happening. But that's driving many people to ditch their cable providers with that over 500,000, but just from T-Mobile. But when you add in the AT&T numbers, in just 3 months, 776,000 people switched to 5G home internet in the third quarter of 2025. We'll keep a very close eye on this, but it's very clear that rapid growth in the world of cord cutting 2.0 is happening. This is very bad news for Comcast and Spectrum. We'll get their earnings numbers next week just to see how bad it was. But seeing this astonishingly fast growth raises questions. I know Spectrum's solution to allow this has been to expand their footprint, go into more rural areas, try to get more people to sign up by reaching out to more rural customers. Will it pay off? Will Comcast continue to see huge losses in their both TV and internet? At some point, that's going to catch up with them. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, good news if you're a fan of Stranger Things. Netflix has announced that the season finale series, I should say finale, the final episode, will be heading to theaters nationwide in the U.S. and Canada on December 31st. The episode will be shown in over 350 participating theaters beginning at 5 p.m. Pacific, which coincides with its release on Netflix with that. Now, this was originally, I think I heard the creators wanted to do it, and there was some talk that maybe Netflix did it. Well, Netflix says they're doing it. It'll be a limited time thing, only run through January 1st, 2026, which still seems weird to say we're getting close to 2026. But good news for Stranger Things fans, if you want to watch the final episode, which they say will explain everything, we'll see. I've heard that before from a TV show. You'll be able to watch that either on your TV at home, on your couch, or in a movie theater. All right. Hey, did you change your password recently? You may want to. PC World's reporting that 183 million email accounts have been compromised. Now, of course, you can always check it on a website like Have I Been Pwned? But Please remember to change your passwords rapidly, use two-factor authentication, and more, because you're not always going to get notified before a bad actor gets their hands on your username or password. Password managers and more are important, but always remember this: never reuse passwords for anything important. I think we all have a junk password you use on websites that aren't paid, or you don't care because you just wanted to leave a comment on a story or something. But really think about how you are locking down your password and not reusing your bank account or PayPal or other passwords on other sites. All right, Tubi has announced what's coming in November, and it's a lot of stuff. Tubi's got a lot of originals, several new originals coming, but also a lot of series, including some big ones. Dead Like Me, a great comedy, kind of dark comedy series there. Really enjoyed it. Roots, the 1977 version and 2016 version will be there. V 2009, Children's Hospital, 61st Street, the 4400, and Growing Pains, and more, all being added to Tubi in November. Check out quite the list there. Dead Like Me, I gotta say, is a pretty good show. Would encourage you to check it out if you like a little bit of dark comedy on there. Of course, classics like Roots. I never saw the 2009 V series. I definitely like the original, and more, all included on here. Those are just a few of the series. There's a lot of movies and more being added. And we had an interesting Today in TV history this week. 67 years ago this week, the Smurfs became a thing. Now, not the TV show, little disclaimer here to not cause confusion if you didn't read the story, but the cartoon strip where they first appeared, the concept, the creation of the beloved Smurfs show. Now, I'll be honest, it feels like the Smurfs have kind of faded away. I remember in the 80s, they were a pretty big deal, the late 80s, early 90s there. Somebody leave me a comment, let me know, did you grow up with the Smurfs? By October 23rd, 1958, the Smurfs launched as a comic strip. Later in the 1980s, became a popular TV show from 1981 through 1989. And I felt like it reran all through the 90s also. But the Smurfs are now 67 years old. Let me know if you're a fan of the Smurfs. Speaking of things turning old, here's one that kind of surprised me. Comment. We already talked about it a little bit, but they're turning 10 years old on October 31st. And they've announced an all-day special marathon of movies with it, including Labyrinth, Star Trek Search for Spock, Star Trek The Voyage Home, Limitless, Day of the Dead, Minority Report, and more will all be airing on Comet to celebrate the network's 10th anniversary. Now you can find a full list of how to watch it and the times of all this in the show notes down below if you want to check it out. But MeTV is not to be outdone there by Comet. They got their Christmas holiday cheer coming up here. Are you ready for this? From November 23rd to 28th, they'll be serving up Thanksgiving-themed episodes. And then on November 29th, they've announced a massive slate of Christmas with their Very Merry MeTV. Once again, back again. But you're going to see a whole bunch of classic holiday episodes, from Happy Days to The Brady Bunch, The Beverly Hillbillies, Mama's House, Love Boat, even stuff like A Boy Named Charlie Brown is going to air on there. All in the Family, Everybody Loves Raymond, The Watsons on this, MASH, a lot of cartoons with this, and more will all be airing on MeTV to celebrate the holiday season. So look for an entire December packed full, so get your DVRs ready once you get your guide data on there. A lot of content coming there. Hey, a little bit of a shorter episode today. A few things. We've added thousands of new people, a lot of new faces around here. Welcome. It's hard to believe that I've been doing this over 11 years now, talking about cord cutting. I've been doing cord cutting today for not that entire time, but for several years. First launched it back in 2018, grew it, here we are. So really do appreciate it. It was a weekly one and a daily one, and I tell you, of all the things I do, this is probably one of my favorite things in the world, at least for my job here, I should say. I really do appreciate your support. Watching every day, I know many of you, I see your comments, I appreciate it. I don't get a chance to reply to everybody, but I really do appreciate everybody's support. We're very, very thankful, not just for myself, but Jess, Raymond, Becca, James, all with that, sorry. We really do appreciate your support because that makes this all possible for us. But hey, we'll be back again tomorrow with another video. And remember, we post videos almost every day. Well, until next time, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.